the Tristan Law Show. If it's your first time here, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. I'm Tristan Law, some retired pro wrestler, and today, I'm your host. Somebody doesn't want me here. You know, I had that on my mind this morning as I was sleeping. It was something that AJ Styles said on Raw, and we didn't get to see it because it wasn't for us to see. It was for the live audience to see. When a legend like AJ Styles looks directly into the camera and drops a line like that, you stop and listen and start asking yourself questions. Because for me, these weren't just words. Is it frustration boiling over? Maybe AJ Styles is a man who feels like his time is slipping away, and maybe he's a little right. There's a cryptic Instagram post with an hourglass that plays into this. Rumors about his contract, that promo where he's talking about people doesn't want him here. Is it a work? Is it a shoot on Monday Night Raw? It all paints a picture of the phenomenal one who feels unwanted and maybe even pushed out. But let me tell you, here's the real question here. If AJ Styles believes that somebody's trying to shove him, to push him out the door, how does he fight back? And maybe more importantly, who does he fight with? We're going to be looking at all of that today on this, maybe this is an emergency episode of the Tristan Law Show. Because I'm telling you, there wasn't supposed to be an episode today, but I sat up in the bed like The Undertaker and said that, you know what, we're going to talk about this. Right now, we got a poll running. The poll is asking, is AJ Styles going to be retiring? Is he going to be retiring? That's what everybody's talking about as well, too. Right now, 100% of the audience that's live right now watching says yes. Make sure you always watch this live here on YouTube. I want to hear your questions as well, too, in the comments, whether you're watching live or on demand. Doesn't matter how you're watching. I want to see the comments. But today, we're not just talking about AJ's future. We're talking about the shadow over his career and possibly the names that are holding him back. And yes, an alliance that nobody, and I mean maybe nobody else saw coming. Today, we're peeling back the clock on the phenomenal one and why the time that he has to be finally running out. When you look at AJ Styles' legacy in the WWE, he's a multi-time WWE champion, right? Intercontinental champion, U.S. champion. No, he's never had the Intercontinental champion, but one day he's going to get the Intercontinental champion from Dom Mysterio. He's had tag team titles. He has 20-plus years in pro wrestling. He's delivered classics in TNA. He's delivered classics in New Japan Pro Wrestling and WWE. That's the same man that had the opportunity to come to the WWE when WCW folded, but said, nah, I think that I'm going to hedge my bets and I'm going to go hang out with my friends. I'm going to go ahead and make a name for myself. And, you know, his wife was going to school, so he wanted to go ahead and do the right thing. So I'm not upset with him for that, but AJ Styles is definitely a person that's built a whole entire legacy for himself. Because of that legacy that AJ Styles has built for himself, he is wildly respected by his fans and his peers, but he still feels undervalued in WWE system. When you look at AJ Styles' work promo, the shoot promo on Monday Night Raw, the one that says that somebody doesn't want me here, and if you want to watch it, I've put the link in the description so that you can go ahead and check that video out, so that you can go ahead and see what that whole entire thing is talking about, and you can listen for yourself and make your own objections. And then I want you to come back here and I want you to talk about, but if you're watching this live right now, we're not going anywhere. Stay right here. If you happen to catch us in the end part, you know what? We're come back and come back and have the discussion after, but you make sure you watch this episode first. In that promo, if you don't want to watch, I'm going to tell you what happened. In that promo, AJ Styles talks about somebody doesn't want me here. Who? He talks about somebody who manufactured a way for him not to win. Who? For the first time in his career, AJ Styles says that he has nobody watching his back. No Michin, no Doc, no Gallows, nobody. It's just him by his lonesome. Nobody's watching his back. He even says that he'll allow us to make our own conclusions. And this all occurs on Monday Night Raw, the one that just passed. right? Today's Friday. The Monday Night Raw that happened on Monday. He says that he'll allow us to make our own conclusions, and this all happens on the Monday Night Raw. It happens on a break, and we don't get to see it because we live in America and we're watching on Netflix because they got bills to pay. He says that we're probably not supposed to hear this, and we're talking about the promo. It was for the live audience, not us on Netflix, but it's on YouTube. Like I said, the link is in the description of this video if you want to do it. But in a way, it felt like a genuine grievance. It's not just a storyline. It resonated with fans. AJ isn't lashing out widely. I think that he's measured. And I think that in the world of the WWE that we're in right now, where they blur the lines between what's real and what, well, let me not say real, because that means that something would be fake. And there's nothing fake about pro wrestling. The lines are blurred between what is and what isn't. I want to show y'all something. This is where you kind of got to watch live sometimes, you know, or, you know, maybe you're watching the video, the playback somehow. Let me show y'all this, because we want to talk about this right here. AJ Styles posts a post on Instagram, and the caption that he writes is, "Time is not up yet." Well, out of all the things that you choose, why did you choose an hourglass? Okay, yeah, maybe he's talking about time. Maybe AJ is running out. But why an hourglass? Why does it have to be an hourglass? Well, maybe he's talking about he's retiring. And right now I'm asking whether you think that AJ Styles is retiring. If you're not watching live, go ahead and participate still. Just let me know in the comments. Just put yes, he's retiring, or no, he's not retiring. That is okay. But the thing about AJ Styles' post, is AJ retiring? Is that what that post means? Is that what he means? Is he retiring? Is he done with wrestling altogether? AJ Styles is 48. And fans like myself are connecting the dots. But maybe some haven't connected it as far as I have, because there's still more connections to make here. AJ Styles is 48 years old. His contract is allegedly running out in 2026, around the Royal Rumble time. Maybe February 2026, I don't know. But if that's the case, time is taken. After John Cena leaves, he leaves. But if that's the case, AJ Styles can't really be on a retirement tour, because his retirement tour, if it is hand in hand with John Cena's retirement tour, it's going to get phased out, and you know what? It probably won't even matter that much. So maybe John Cena's not the only person retiring in 2026. I don't know. But there's still more meat on the bone here. AJ Styles is 48 years old. His birthday's in June. And AJ Styles says that he doesn't want to be wrestling into his 50s. And let me tell you, I've wrestled lots of wrestlers that are in their 50s and probably beyond their 50s. And some people are just shells of themselves. Maybe what AJ Styles wants to be is he doesn't want to be a shell of himself. AJ Styles will be 50 in 2025. I'm sorry, in 2028, he'll be 50. When you look at all the years that AJ Styles has been wrestling, AJ Styles has been, man, AJ Styles is the man in TNA. AJ Styles is the man, the person that they dropped the ball with in TNA. He's done pretty much everything. He's wrestled for the top promotions in the world. He's wrestled for WCW. He's wrestled for New Japan. He's wrestled for TNA. He wrestled for WWE. Maybe the only place he hasn't wrestled is AEW. Does he even have an interest of going into AEW? That's another question there in itself. But whether we want to believe it or not, time is ticking somehow. It's an hourglass. What is running out? Maybe that's AJ Styles' patience? I don't know. I don't know. But I still have more speculation on what this whole entire thing could be. The thing with AJ Styles and his legacy is that his legacy is untouchable. But based on that hourglass, it feels like the walls are closing in. And if you believe his words, there's somebody inside the WWE that's making sure he doesn't get his due. That's making sure that AJ Styles does not get his shake of the stick. But the question is, who? Let me ask you another question. And let me know in the chat, whether you're watching live or on demand, listening on the audio only. Do you think that AJ Styles has been properly valued in WWE, or has he been always fighting uphill? I personally think that when you're not a homegrown guy in the WWE, you didn't come up through their system, you weren't a name that they made there, you have a lot more to fight for. I think so. Because you might have come from someplace else with a legacy, and you're just trying to hope, and you're just trying to build that legacy in a new entire fish tank. Shark Tank. But who could be the person that AJ Styles is talking about that is wanting him out in the WWE? Well, I got a couple names here for you. Let's take a look at the first one. The first one, Seth Rollins. Seth freaking Rollins. He's the locker room leader. He is the new company guy. He is one of the faces that the WWE will have on its back, or that will be sailing the ship of WWE for like the next 5 years. I say Seth might have a good maybe 5 years left in him. Let's see. God willing that he's healthy. But Seth Rollins could be the guy that's holding him back, him and Paul Heyman, him and the whole vision. What if the vision is not for AJ Styles to be a top guy because he's not from here? Because AJ Styles is not from around these parts. That's a possibility. I mean, Paul Heyman could be one of the people that could be not wanting AJ Styles to get his fair shake. And then you have, he's decides that maybe Paul Heyman could have bet on AJ Styles, but decided to go bet on Seth Rollins. It's all speculation. It's all rumor and innuendo here. We're just having fun with a little bit of fantasy booking. But I have the ultimate fantasy book that is coming up. I got a fantasy booking so bold and so unpredictable that you might not even see it. And if you see it coming, well, you know what? That's good for you. Drop it in the comments. Tell me what you see in advance. But I want you guys to call the promo hotline. Let me know what you think. Complain about anything in pro wrestling. Praise anything about pro wrestling. 973-826-0101. I want you to be a part of the show. This isn't just me talking to you. This is us talking with each other. If you want to be a part of the show, I want you to call the promo hotline and give me a fire take. Give me a fire take.
Thank you.
So the other person that could be wanting AJ Styles held down is none other than Mr. Triple H, Mr. Paul Levesque himself. Triple H has been an authority figure on screen. He is the authority figure in real life. He is Mr. Triple H, Paul Levesque. He is the gatekeeper of legacies. In this day and age, if you want to be great in the WWE, you have to go through that man. That man is the reason why you are going, well, partly of the reason why you are going to be a star or not. This guy right here could be the guy that wants AJ Styles held back. Could be. He's the guy that's in control of the pen. Pencil. That would work because both of them, AJ Styles, looking at AJ Styles, you've got Seth Rollins, the previous name that I mentioned, great heel, doing great business right now with CM Punk. The other person that we're looking at is Triple H. Awesome heel. Yeah, Triple H can't get in the ring. We know that's true, but maybe Triple H is going to have to get in the ring. What if Triple H just has somebody that he's chosen? That he's chosen. So he never has to get in the ring and he never has to take a bump. But the thing is that, regardless, is of the point of whether it's AJ Styles against Seth Rollins and company, or AJ Styles against Triple H and company, AJ's alone. And AJ said it for himself. The deck is stacked against AJ Styles. What the heck is AJ Styles supposed to do? Huh? But this is where this whole entire thing gets a little bit more crazier. What if AJ Styles isn't alone? What if there's somebody that's lurking in the shadows who says he's got AJ's back? Who could it be? Is AJ willing to sell his soul? Who do you think that AJ is really talking about when he said that somebody doesn't want him here? I gave you two names. I gave you Triple H and I gave you Seth Rollins. Who doesn't want him here? Why? AJ Styles is not completely alone. I don't believe that. Maybe he believes it right now in character. But there's somebody out there that might be watching his back who we're not even talking about right now. Why? Because we don't see them. Why? Because they don't work for the WWE. The person that I'm talking about is this man right here. This is Karrion Kross, the man that nobody's expecting to be against on AJ Styles' side. The reason why nobody expects this man right here to be on the side of AJ Styles is because he doesn't work for the WWE anymore. He does not work for the WWE anymore. Now, when Karrion Kross got released from the WWE, we were all thinking, oh, well, you know what? Maybe it's a work. Maybe it's a part of the show. And, you know, we haven't seen him in so long. So the question is, maybe it is a part of the show. But the thing that I say to myself is, okay, maybe that's what they want us to believe. It's what they did with R-Truth. And R-Truth is a whole entire another episode. You know what? I'm going to drop that episode soon. I keep thinking about it, about the whole entire thing with R-Truth, but that's not what we hear now. WWE, like I said earlier, they're blurring the lines on what is happening and what really isn't happening, and you don't know what's what. WWE is gaslighting us to believe certain things in the WWE are happening right now. I don't know. What is it? AJ Styles was tempted by Brass Knuckles by Karrion Kross. AJ refused. Karrion Kross is a master manipulator. It's what he does. Karrion Kross, he is toxic. I'm telling you that Karrion Kross is toxic. So, what Karrion Kross does, right? Because y'all probably not even paying attention. You know, so tough to what's going on social media. Because most times, WWE is using social media to forward the storylines, but you're not paying attention. Maybe it just happens over your head and you don't even see it. On the same exact post that AJ Styles put with the hourglass on Instagram, there was a lot of responses. But one response that caught my attention was from Karrion Kross. Karrion Kross replied to that same exact post and said, Uncle Alan, I will turn that hourglass upside down. Don't you leave us. Well, what is he doing? What is Karrion Kross doing posting on there? Is it a part of the show? Is it not the part of the show? Is it something so obscure that it flies underneath the radar of the regular traditional WWE fan? Because you're not thinking about the fact that, well, you know, Karrion Kross is not here anymore. He's just posting on his Instagram, on somebody else's Instagram page. We all know that we post on people's Instagram page every day, and sometimes we're just having fun. And if you want to follow me on Instagram, feel free to follow me at The Real Big Tris. On Instagram, you can follow me on Threads. That is where I am. Uncle Alan, I will turn that hourglass upside down. Don't you dare leave us. Well, both men, AJ Styles and Karrion Kross, they know what it's like to be overlooked, underutilized, and not wanted. AJ Styles right now, he's the legend that feels like WWE is facing him out. He's too old for the game, right? The guy's 48 years old. Why don't you step out of the way, Grandpa, and let somebody else who's a little bit younger come on and take over, huh? You think you're so phenomenal? At 48 years old, imagine the phenomenality. I think I made that word, it might not even be a real word. Imagine the phenomenality that we're getting from people that are 28 years old, maybe even 38 years old. But you at 48, AJ Styles, you might be a little bit too old. Karrion Kross, the guy who was once laughed at because they shaved the guy head and gave the guy a gladiator helmet. That's what they did to Karrion Kross. That's the only reason why I think that Karrion Kross and AJ Styles could be together, because you know what? Two peas of a pod, in a pod. They're it. They're together. There could be. The thing is that Karrion Kross is toxic. Anything that he touches with his fingers becomes toxic. Look at the New Day. Toxic. Sami Zayn, uber babyface. Maybe he's not ready to be toxic yet. I don't know, but it's a lot of stuff that are coming. But Karrion Kross, he bills himself as the devil's advocate, and together, AJ Styles and Karrion Kross, they represent the rebellion against the system. I'm going to give myself a hand clap for that one. This is the reason why I sat up in the bed at 5 and change in the morning like The Undertaker and said that. This was a hell of an idea, and I need to jump on here today because it wasn't even a plan for me to come on here today and make an episode. When you're looking at the response from fans and everything else like that, Karrion Kross was already starting to get cheered by Knights of Champions. And by SummerSlam, everybody was wanting Karrion Kross. Karrion Kross released that little documentary on his YouTube channel, Killer Kross, whatever. He went ahead and he did all of that. And everybody just started chanting, "We want Kross." You started seeing the signs in arenas. So WWE's really want to let go of Karrion Kross after you put the guy in the ring with such big names? Okay, cool. You know what? We are going to ride with that. We're going to ride with that just for a little bit. But fans really want to rally behind AJ. It's the thing about this, right? Everybody knows what pro wrestling is, right? But everybody doesn't want their favorite wrestler to feel like he's not getting his fair shake. And AJ Styles may not be getting his fair shake. So that's a reason for us to band with AJ Styles. He's not getting what he deserves. Putting them together, though, is going to make them super babyface, and it's going to feel fresh. Maybe we're going to have this big babyface group, because there isn't a big babyface group right now. There's just a bunch of alliances running around, but the big babyface group that is running around right now, it was the blood. No, it wasn't never the Bloodline. It wasn't a big babyface group. The big heel group that they got going on right now is the Vision. So who is the big babyface group? Chris is in the chat. He says that he wants Karrion Kross and Scarlett back. You know what? I want them back too. I think there's a lot of upside when it comes to Karrion Kross and Scarlett, and I 100% believe that Karrion Kross is the person that has AJ Styles back. If you don't know what I'm talking about, there's a link in the description that you can go check out after this episode where AJ Styles cuts a promo on Monday Night Raw doing commercial before his match with El Grande Americano. The thing about that is that we were not supposed to see it. But if we're not supposed to see it, why is it on YouTube? YouTube is the only place that it came that has come out on. Chris says that Sami Zayn ran out Karrion Kross and Scarlett out of the WWE. Look, you never know. Maybe Karrion Kross, maybe Sami Zayn is the one that wants AJ Styles out. Maybe he's the one that's playing in the background, but we don't see him. I don't know. Donnell Mason says that Triple H ran Karrion Kross and Scarlett out of the WWE, not Sammy. That's in response to Chris. There's just so much going on. That's why I mentioned that Triple H could be one of the people that does not want AJ Styles in the WWE. That's putting him in a position to where he can't win. And it's something that he wasn't supposed to say. Thank you so much for your comments, guys. The only reason why I think, though, that Karrion Kross would come back as a heel with AJ Styles is because you can't boo Karrion Kross. The first time you see Karrion Kross on TV, you're going to cheer for Karrion Kross. But what's Karrion Kross doing right now? He's collecting his dates on the indies. Yep, that's just to guide people away from the fire so that they don't see the smoke. That Karrion Kross still works with WWE, because who does the WWE, I'm getting goosebumps, who does the WWE let work under contract? Wow. Who does WWE let work on the indies elsewhere outside the WWE while they're under contract? WWE doesn't do that. They do. They have. Natalya, she's out there tearing it up on the indies on Josh Bloodsport. Natalya is out there tearing it up for Reality of Wrestling with Booker T. She is a main roster WWE talent. So if you're trying to tell me that if Natalya, that Natty Neidhart, if that she's out there wrestling for independent promotions while she's contracted by the WWE, that Karrion Kross can't be, let me tell you something. Do not be bamboozled, do not be fooled, do not be flim-flammed. AJ Styles deserves, if this is final run, he deserves a final run. The thing with him and Karrion Kross being together is that AJ brings the credibility, he brings the lineage, he brings the legacy and the honor. Karrion Kross, he brings the edge. He brings the menace and it brings the unpredictability. Those things that I named there, AJ Styles, the credibility, the legacy, the honor, Karrion Kross, the edge, the menace, the unpredictability. Those are two things that both men carry separately. But imagine eating a slice of ham and a slice of cheese separately. They have their own distinct taste. But when you taste them together and you slap a little bit of mayonnaise on it, you put a little bit of lettuce and tomatoes, you dress it up a little bit, it turns into something bigger than it is. You add Scarlett in there. Everybody's talking about Scarlett right now in the chat. Scarlett adds mystique, making the whole duo feel dynamic, making everybody feel dangerous yet magnetic, like they belong together. Maybe Karrion Kross isn't really the one pulling the strings the whole time. Maybe it's Scarlett. Maybe Scarlett's the one that's in the background like the queen, saying, pick this, pick that, make this move. Because she doesn't really talk much. You just see her. The only time she talks is when she says the end is near. Whose end is near? I don't see AJ Styles retiring yet. Or maybe I do. That's something we're going to talk about. I've got a poll going on right now, and it's asking, is AJ Styles retiring? 2/3 of everybody, 67% says yes, while 33% say no. You know what? Hold on to that because we are going to talk about that. AJ Styles and Karrion Kross, they are a yin and yang. They're two separate, East Side, West Side, Bloods versus Crips, Democrat versus Republican, left versus right, up versus down. There are two polar opposites, except that they balance each other out when they're together. They say opposites attract. But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing about alliances in pro wrestling. We know it. We've been conditioned to believe it. It's something that we've seen for a long time, for as long as we've been watching wrestling. And what it is that alliances don't last forever in pro wrestling. Alliances don't. Eventually, the bottom falls out. So the question is, based on everything that I'm saying, is Karrion Kross really AJ's savior? Or is he the man that will ultimately destroy him. Let's look at the chat. I love the chat. What's up, Fernando? Thanks for joining us. In the chat, we got Chris. He says he only supports Triple H because his war with Tony Khan and AEW. All right, Chris sounds like an AEW guy. He says that he only supports Triple H against Awesome Wrestling. All right. Chris says that AJ Styles and Cameron Cross and Scarlett, the new triangle of terror. You're making my... You get a hand clap. I like that name, the Triangle of Terror. You? Chris. Welcome to the Tristan Law Show. Golly. Chris also says that Jeff Jarrett should return to the WWE. Jeff Jarrett needs to be a consultant to AJ Styles. I don't know about that. Chris, come on, man. I just praised you, and now I gotta hit you with the buzzer? I wasn't a big fan of AJ Styles and Jeff Jarrett back in the TNA days, because I used to go to TNA a lot when I lived in Orlando, and I used to always hate that AJ Styles, every time that he wanted to win, he was going to win that championship, it was always against Jeff Jarrett. Month after month after month after month, Jeff Jarrett would just be the person holding the champion. I wasn't a fan of that, but if AJ Styles needs somebody to watch his back, he needs somebody dangerous. And the dangerous person we're not thinking about right now is Karrion Kross, because Karrion Kross does not work for the WWE. He's out. Fernando says, sorry that he's late. Look, Fernando, it's okay. I didn't plan to be here today. I sat up in the bed at about almost 6 o'clock this morning and said, holy crap, AJ Styles could be in cahoots with Karrion Kross, and we don't even know it yet because he says that nobody's got his back. Fernando says that he'd like to see AJ Styles versus Leon Slater in TNA. Chris says that Roxanne Perez, Raquel Rodriguez should regain the tag team championship. You know what? That's another conversation for another day. But let me ask you guys a question, whether you're watching live or on demand. And if you're watching right now, hit that like button. Why you don't hit the like button? Right? We all like each other. We're here building a community. We're doing great things here. Because the thing that I'm saying to you, if you know wrestling history, you know that the story that I'm telling you with AJ Styles and Karrion Kross, it doesn't end with a handshake. No, not at all. If AJ Styles is walking towards his final chapter because he's 48 years old and says that he doesn't want to wrestle in his 50s, maybe the devil is at his side. Who gets to write the last line? Maybe AJ Styles is on his way out, and you know what? He wants to position himself in the best pace possible, so he's willing to sell his soul to the devil. He's willing to sell his soul to Karrion Kross. Would you? I'm asking you whether you can hear me, see me, feel me. Would you cheer AJ Styles and Karrion Kross together as maybe the triangle of terror, as Chris called him? Or do you think that Karrion Kross is only with him to betray him? Let me touch that for a little bit. I would cheer it. I would be excited for that. The reason why I would be excited for AJ Styles and Karrion Kross, because you know what? Karrion Kross has been very uninteresting. But started from a couple months ago, he started becoming more interesting, and I'm getting goosebumps again. Karrion Kross started becoming more interesting, and more people started buying into Karrion Kross. But Karrion Kross is no longer in the WWE. Quotation marks, he's no longer in the WWE. But the betrayal would be good. The betrayal would be real nice. The betrayal would be real fun. You know what we're going to do right now? Let's talk about the betrayal. AJ Styles and Karrion Kross in this book kayfabe world that I'm putting together right now, they could be battling WWE's entire system together. It could be AJ Styles and Karrion Kross with Scarlett in the background against the world. Everybody watching is going to believe that AJ Styles is safe. But in turn, Karrion Kross, he betrays AJ Styles, not to erase him, but to inherit his spot once he retires. Because I told you, AJ Styles allegedly only has a contract until January, February 2026, and he's going to be 49 years old next year in 2026 and says he doesn't want to wrestle when he's 50. AJ Styles versus Karrion Kross could be one of the main events of WrestleMania 42. AJ Styles could lose that match. AJ Styles will get a standing ovation. AJ Styles will get the thank you AJ chants. And Karrion Kross is going to leave bigger than when he came in. Because how can you be friends with the guy? Come save the guy, come watch the guy, help the guy out, and then stab him in the back. You know what they say. They say knives to the left, forks to the left, and knives in the back.
Yeah!
How could it be, Karrion Kross, that we trusted you so much to watch our beloved savior AJ Styles back? And what you did was you betrayed him. So now we're going to go from from loving Karrion. Well, no. We're going to go from not really caring too much about Karrion Kross because nothing's been really happening with him to caring about Karrion Kross so much that WWE releases him and we want him back, to him teaming with AJ Styles and watching his back and then turning on him and then becoming one of the biggest heels in the WWE. Randy Orton can't wrestle there forever. There needs to be somebody that's a big heel to take everything into the next future. I haven't heard any real things about Karrion Kross getting injured. Karrion Kross is about as old as I am. I'm not sure when he turns 40, if he turned 40 already. But I 100% believe that if this is the story that they're going to tell, where Karrion Kross is the one that is going to be watching the back of AJ Styles, that it should only turn like this and let AJ Styles retire. AJ Styles posted on Instagram that his time is running out, that he's leaving and he's gone. Adios, sayonara, tata, that the time is running out. What does that mean? But then Karrion Kross says that, no, Uncle Al, I'll be the one to turn that hourglass upside down. Don't leave. The hourglass plays so much into Karrion Kross's whole entire gimmick. If Karrion Kross didn't have a gimmick that involved hourglass, I probably wouldn't be sitting up in the bed like The Undertaker this morning to put together this episode in only a couple hours to be here sitting here with you. I'm tired. Haven't even slept. Had to put this episode together. AJ would leave the hero, standing ovation and everything. But Karrion Kross, he would leave the story as the future. Fernando says that he's been watching AJ since his early TNA days. The thing that I wonder too, Fernando, is since you said you lived in Orlando, I remember you saying that one time, were you at the Impact Zone back in the day? Because if that's the case, that means that we were probably there together at the same exact time. Small world. I went to a lot of TNA events. If AJ Styles is retiring, should he go out standing tall, or should he go out putting somebody over like Karrion Kross? That's the ultimate question. That's how that's going to end. AJ Styles says in this promo that is in the description of this link that they posted on the WWE YouTube channel. Watch that when we're done. AJ Styles says that somebody doesn't want him here. And maybe that's true. Maybe somebody's pulling strings to push AJ Styles out the door. Maybe they're just trying to give him a kick in the ass and get out the door. You're a little bit too old for this. But here's what we know. AJ Styles is not going to just go out quietly. He's not fading into the background. He's still fighting. And he's found somebody to fight with him. Even if it's the last person that you expected. And that's what makes this whole entire story so powerful. Because wrestling isn't just about wins and losses. It's all about legacy, whether it's created, manufactured in a writer's room or not. It's about legacy. It's about betrayal. And it's about how we remember our heroes. If AJ Styles, the clock on AJ Styles is really running out, then the way that this story ends could really define how we remember him forever. So let me leave you with this. If this is AJ Styles' last chapter, should he ride off into the sunset like a legend? Or should he let one final betrayal steal his place in history by making Karrion Kross the man that ended him? Damn. I want to hear from you. Whether you're watching this live or on demand, I want to hear from you. I want you, you could say, you know that you could call the promo hotline, right? You guys already know. There's a lot of y'all that call the promo hotline, but y'all don't leave no fire takes. Leave a fire take, 973-826-0101. That is my phone number. Call that number and complain or praise about anything. Give me a take on that. Don't be afraid. Whether you think your idea is dumb or not, I'm not looking for dumb, and I'm not looking for spectacular. I'm looking for fire. Bring the fire. But you can also email me at any time at TristanLawShowMedia@gmail.com. TristanLawShowMedia@gmail.com. You can email me there at any time. At any time. We talk to each other. That's what we do here. But I want to know. Let me know. I've given you all the avenues to contact me, to talk to me. Let me know what you think. Who's really pulling the strings behind AJ Styles' frustration? Why is he frustrated? And if this is how it ends, how do you want to see AJ Styles go out? Because one thing is for sure, WWE is never nothing what it seems. Tick-tock. Tick-tock. AJ Styles, that story might already be written. And the only question is, who's holding the pen? Well, that is my hidden meeting behind the AJ Styles hourglass. That is my idea of who wants Triple H. Triple H or Seth Rollins, the people that want AJ Styles out. Let me know what you think. I'm Tristan Law. This is the Tristan Law Show. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you being here. Hit that like button. Don't make me a little dirty secret. Like, share, and subscribe. I'm Tristan Law, and I'll see you next time.
Flashing red lights, driving at night.